that we've stepped through an instance of the logic of finding a search value in a binary array and what happens when the item is in the array, what happens when the item is not in the array. We can go ahead and fully develop the logic for the binary search algorithm. So as an example, I'm using the same array accounts, which has a size of 17. I've declared the array accounts, and I'm declaring some variables. Here we're declaring the search value, what we're going to be searching for. And these three items right here are what's going to control when we exit the array. So we will have low, which is 0, high, again, being the size minus 1, so 16 for this instance, and a Boolean variable called found, which we initialize to false, because before you start searching, you haven't found it yet. And so the array is declared, and we're calling a module which will load these values into the accounts array. And we're prompting the user to enter the account number that's going to be loaded into the variable called search value. So for the binary search algorithm, what we want to do is we will loop as long as we have not found it yet. Okay, but then there's the instance where you'll never found it, which would be an infinite loop if you just leave the logic like that. So there's actually two conditions that's going to keep us in the loop. First of all, we haven't found it, and if you recall from the previous video, when low is still less than or equal to high, because a not found condition will eventually make low greater than high, and that's when we want to exit the loop. So when this is true, what do we want to do? Well, we got to find the middle. So we will set a variable called middle. I haven't declared that, so let me come up here and declare middle. Okay, and we're going to set the middle equal to, using the two integer, and we're going to add together a low, and we're going to add to that the high, and we're going to divide that by 2 and take that to integer. So now we know the middle, and we need to make a decision. Remember, there's 3 possible decisions. One is that our accounts at middle is equal to what we're searching for. So lucky, we got it right away. So if it's equal to the search value, then all we need to do is say, hey, we found it. So found will be set to true. What that's going to happen is the next time through the loop, this will be not found, not true is false, false, and whatever this is doesn't matter, because when you and a false, the whole condition is false, and we'll exit the loop. Otherwise, what if you haven't found it? Now we've got 2 more possibilities. So I'm going to nest an if in that part, and I'm going to say, well, what if our accounts at middle is, well, it could be less than our search value. Well, okay, let's think. So if we're searching for 120 and we got 105, we want to go that way, then this is less than what we're searching for. So it's the low that changes, if you recall, in that circumstance. So we will set our low to be equal to our middle plus 1. And then the third condition would just be another else here. And, well, if that's not true and that's not true, then it must be the opposite, where we will move the high to be equal to middle minus 1. Now, let's end up these ifs. So this is the end of this if, and end of this if, and actually the end of our while. And this loop will do exactly what we stepped through earlier and determine whether or not we found it. When we get out of the loop, we can test the value of found and then say, yes, we found it, else we haven't found it. The value of middle, if it is found, then the value of middle inside of here will be where that item was found at. And that concludes how to write up the binary search algorithm.